Hello, everybody. It's Kate Beaters. As we're going live, please say hello. Let me know who you are and where you are from. Do you ever wonder what mistakes you're making during your sales conversations? Well, you should be because sales are the most direct and fastest way to grow your income. When you're really good at sales, perhaps even a master at sales, you're in control of your income. You can make as much as you want or as little as you want. It's all up to you. So, in this training, I'm going to share a couple of the big mistakes that I see people making, and that way you can see if check in and ask yourself if you're making these mistakes, and if so, then make some changes to help you get some better results. Hey there, everybody, it's Kate Beaters, your breakthrough success expert. So, the first mistake I want to talk about is what I call the wham bam, thank you, ma'am sales strategy. And you probably have experienced this on the other end because I know it's pretty prevalent right now, especially during the pandemic where everybody's on social media. And this is when somebody will send you, depending on the type of social media, like a friend request or connection request, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. And often it's somebody that you don't know. You probably don't even know their name, so it's really kind of a cold connection, and they send you a request, and as soon as you accept it, you either get an invitation to join their group, or else they start pitching at you one way or the other. Now, this is a mistake. I just want to tell you this is a huge mistake because people um, buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So who's ever teaching you to do this, to right away start hitting people up, wrong. It's wrong, wrong, wrong. Because it actually turns people off when you do that. Because when you think about it, first of all, we often have no clue who you are. So who is this person who is inviting me to purchase from them? Like, why on earth would I want to take out my credit card when I have no clue who you are, how good you are, what you're known for, what your results are like? I know absolutely nothing about you, right? So the relationship has to really be nurtured before you do that. And if you're asking me to join a group, and again, I don't know you, when you think about that, you know, I don't know about you all, but I'm super busy, and I think probably you all are too, with everything going on. And to ask me to spend time in your group, I better know who you are and what what the advantage, what the purpose is of doing that. Um, so I want you to be thinking about that because when you're doing this wham bam thank you ma'am strategy, it really tends to come off pretty aggressive and also as a turnoff. I know when I get that, people randomly sending me connections, and if I do accept and then getting hit up like that, I tend to pretty quickly delete the connection because I just figure that person is just looking for numbers. They really have no interest in me because if you're pitching at me either to join your group or to buy from you, or a quote, let's have a conversation where I'm going to pitch at you then. The truth is that you know nothing about me. You don't really know anything about who I am, how I do my business, what's important to me, nothing. So to do that is really presumptuous. So I want to tell all of you, kind of stop, really work on building authentic connection because that is what it's going to help you build consistent income year after year after year. Now, interestingly enough, on this topic, not so much about sales conversations, but I've been reading these articles where they're talking about Gen Xers and millennials who really are not great they don't know how to communicate, they don't know how to have conversations. And so what these articles have been talking about is that when they get hired, that not only does their manager have to teach them what their actual job is, but now they have to teach them how to actually communicate and connect with people in person, right? None of this texting and all that, but actually to be able to have conversations, to ask for things, to work together and all that. So why is this important to you? Well, if you are, an entrepreneur and you're planning on building a team, you need to know how to work with your team members. If you ever at some point think you might be working with a corporation or a business, you got to know how to talk to them. And if you ever want to be a leader, the same thing. It doesn't just happen, through the internet. You've got to actually be able to build connection. So not only is this important for you for your sales conversations, but everywhere else, you need to know how to connect with people, how to build that know, like, and trust. And that's something I work with, really strongly with my clients because I believe in how important it is. The second mistake I see people making is what I call the jack of all trades, master of none. And perhaps you've seen this, let's say like in a Facebook group, that somebody will put out a request that they need somebody to who does something. Maybe they need a bookkeeper, for example. And somebody, people will respond back, and person says, I can do your books, I know how to do that. Well, then some later on someone says that they need a photographer. That same person says, I can be, take your photos, I can take your wedding photos. And then someone needs an event planner, I can be your event planner, I'm an event planner. I need, someone else needs a coach, I can be your coach. So you can see people are kind of saying yes to everything, right? And what happens, just to kind of let you all know on the other side, when those of us observe that, we kind of say like, this person is probably not really good at anything or not making an income at anything. So they're just saying, yep, I know how to do all these things. It's like, sure, I could take my iPhone out and take your photos, right? But I'm sure there's people who are a whole lot better. So it's really learning to kind of own what you're really good at. What I teach my clients is really how to, own their brilliance, and learn how to attract your ideal clients. It's going to make all the difference in your marketing, in your sales conversations, in your offers, and also in charging what you're worth. Because if people see you're dabbling in all sorts of things, they're not going to think you're worth a whole lot. So it's really about owning who you are and being able to push some of those other things away. Now, if you are new in your business the first year and a half or so, you actually get a pass. That's when you do want to say, yep, I do all these things, because that's really a learning time. And that's where you get to really discern, who do I really like working with and who do I really not? And what am I really good at? Where do I get the best results and where do I not get the best results? What lights me up, what doesn't light me up? And that's where your coach should be helping you. That's how I help my clients, because then are able to build your business going that way. And that's what you want to do. So that was the second strategy that you really kind of want to stop doing. So far we've gotten rid of jack of all trades, master of none, and the wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Now, the last one is super critical, and this is just sheer avoidance. This is a big mistake I see people making, that they just don't have sales conversations. And I get it, because a lot of the big reasons people don't have sales conversations is, first of all, they don't know what to say, and they don't understand the flow. They don't understand the importance of what they're asking, the nuances, what the whole point is, how to overcome objections, all that stuff. So because they don't know how to do it, that's one reason people avoid sales conversations. Another reason is the fear of rejection, right? The belief that, gee, what if they say no to me? What if they say, it costs too much money? What if they think I'm bothering them? All sorts of things. So that's another reason that people don't have sales conversations. Now, what happens is, when you don't have sales conversations, you tend to go into the bright, shiny object stuff. Now, granted, that stuff is fun and cool, but it doesn't bring you in the money. The way and the most direct path, I'm going to say this over and over and over again, the most direct path, the fastest way to bringing in income is sales conversations. So, just to give you an example, I am hosting a challenge that's starting in a few days. It's called A Taste of Brilliance, and it's a 10-day challenge helping you really master sales conversations. And when I came up with this idea, two things were really important to me. That what I set this intention is that it had to be expansive and it had to be fun. So what do I mean by that? Expansive, I want it to be something that the people who come to the challenge learn and I learn, right? There has to be a point to it, not just like a time waster. And I want people to, when they started, if they're here, that they leave here. So that was really important to me. And I want to grow as well. The other thing is, there had to be some fun in this, because I just look at it, with everything going on right now, we need some fun. There's so many serious, critical things going on right now. We need some fun. We need to be able to just relax a little bit and enjoy life. So those were the two intentions I set. So along those lines, when I was sitting there saying, okay, so how can I make this more fun? Well, first of all, my challenges are kind of cool. They're not your typical, like, day one, make one call, day two, make two calls, and so on, and it keeps growing exponentially. It's not that type of challenge. We've got some really cool, fun challenges. I can't give them away, but they're fun. But I also thought, like, gee, what else could I do? And what came up to me was, let's have some prizes. And so I was like, yeah, that would make it kind of fun. So I was thinking, well, I wonder if there are any companies that I know that would be willing to donate prizes. So I made a list and I started reaching out, to these companies to see if they'd be willing to kind of do this and give prizes. Now I will share with you that of course there was always the risk that they're going to either laugh at me, say, Kate, who, no way, we're not going to do this. So I could be putting myself out for rejection. But what I held on to was again my purpose, expansive and fun, right? And that's what kept me going, that even if somebody did say no, or that they couldn't do it or not right now, that it didn't knock me down, it didn't make me want to put the covers over my head, that I was able to stick with it. And even one company wanted to do it, but they wanted people to buy first before they would give a prize, and I'm like, no, so it's also learning how to set boundaries, because that did not fit into the mold of what I want to create. I wanted these to be fun prizes. So in fact, the prizes are so cool. To be perfectly honest with you, I would be perfectly happy winning each and every one of them. There's some daily prizes and big prizes. It's all sorts of cool stuff. So before I forget, you do want to go make sure you register. This is free, this challenge. You go to katebeaters.com/challenge 10. It's the numeric 10. So katebeaters.com/challenge 10 to go register. Many of my counterparts would easily be charging hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for this 10 days of training, because there's going to be strategy training, there's going to be mindset training. You're going to start here and leave here, but I really want to do this as a way of really bringing community together. I miss that right now. I miss not being able to have events and things right now during the pandemic. So this is kind of my opportunity of kind of creating something like that and thinking outside the box. So go ahead and register, because even though it is free, you do need to register. You'll get the welcome email with all the details. Second thing you want to do is make sure you invite your friends, give them the link, katebeaters.com/challenge 10. So I want to go back to the sales conversations, because that's really, really important. So what I want to share with you is that if I had not made those calls, if I had not reached out to these companies, there would be no prizes. I mean, well, there would still be some, but not there would not be those prizes. And so what I want you to think about is, how much money have you left on the table this week or this month by not asking, by not having a sales conversation? Is it $100, a couple hundred, 1,000, multi thousands? What is that? So just take a moment to just kind of think about that. And now if you multiply by however many months there are in the year, so what we're about ready to start our 10th month, and you multiply that figure, that's a lot of money that you've left on the table by not asking for sales. It's a lot of money. And what could you do with that money? Whether it's going on vacations, do something for your kids or your family, pay down debt, put it in savings, whatever, buy a new home. I mean, a zillion things you could do with that money, but instead it's just not there. So I sincerely hope from my heart you come join us in this challenge. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. Fun and expansive are my words that I've got going right now. Again, it's katebeaters.com/challenge 10, right? Share it with your friends too. Join us. Maybe you'll win one of the prizes, but I look at it honestly, everybody's going to be a winner, because you're starting here and you're going to end up here. So let's get you mastering sales, get you more comfortable with the whole sales process, watch your income start to grow. That is so critical right now. So again, katebeaters.com/challenge 10, and I'll see you soon. Be brilliant.